Good morning. We have here religion in the workplace, and here's a timeline. We have Hinduism founded in the 7000 BCE, and we have Judaism in the 2000 BCE. Later down the road, we see Buddhism, Jainism, Confucianism, and Taoism, and between 700 and 500 BCE. Then we have Christianity at 1 CE and Islam at 600 CE. Here's just a visual representation of an age distribution of religion groups, kind of. And as we see that 27% of Christians are under the age of 15. 70% of Christians are between the age of 15 and 59. And then we have 14% of Christians between the age just like 60 and older. And as I was looking at this at just this like visual representation, the two things that came to mind was that from the age of like 15 to 59 is when like most people like live, like you're alive for that period of time. But also between the age of 15 and 59 is when you spend most of your time at work. You start working during that time, and that's the time where this is telling us that religion is really important for an individual. So I just want to point that out. So just to say that like companies or organizations should just like really have religion in the back of their mind, because this is when religion like truly matters to people. Here we have different religions. We have Judaism. Judaism is a monotheistic religion, and the Torah is a sacred text. There are 4 million Jews by religion in the U.S. Jewish worship and community often like revolves around the synagogue, a place of prayer and study. Then we have Hinduism. Hinduism appears to be a polytheistic, but some may argue that it's monotheistic. Hinduism actually falls under henotheism, which is the belief and or worship of a single God, while accepting the existence or possible existence of other deities that may also be worshipped. Some of the deities are Vishnu, Ganesh, Shiva, and Krishna. There are 3 million Hindus in the United States. Next, we have Christianity. Christianity is a monotheistic religion centered on the life and teachings of Jesus Christ, with a strong emphasis on salvation through faith, the Trinity in the Bible. There are 210 million Christians in the United States. Following that, we have Islam. Islam is the belief in one God, known as Allah in Arabic. Muslims believe that Muhammad is the last prophet sent by Allah. The holy book of Islam is the Quran. Muslims pray 5 times a day. There are 3 million Muslims in the United States. And a little fun fact, Islam is the fastest growing religion as of like right now. And then there's also Buddhism, Jainism, Shintoism, Taoism, Confucianism, and paganism. This is just to say that there's a lot of religions out there, and just knowing a little bit of each religion like will show like your employer or your coworker that you just care, and that you just respect and just understand their religion. You don't necessarily have to agree with anything, but just having in mind that like this is something that like truly matters to them, and just like having just a little bit, just educating yourself just like a little bit will like go like such a long way. I'm so sorry. It was bothering me. Um, for my last slide here, I have a quote. David Livermore wrote a book called Leading with Cultural Intelligence. In the book, he says cultural intelligence doesn't mean abandoning our ooh, cultural intelligence doesn't mean abandoning our conviction, values, and assumptions. Instead, we're seeking to understand and respect the belief and priorities of others and expressing our own values and belief in ways that are appropriate, respectful, and effective. Um, I kind of chose this quote for my last slide because like some religions like Islam, Judaism, and Hinduism, they have to pray like certain times in the day. And some of these times, like some prayers are in the morning, in the afternoon, and like during those times is usually the time where people are at work. Like Hinduism, for example, they have a prayer from 9 to 10, and that's usually when you're at work. So workplace is just just understanding that like that's part of their needs and just giving them the the accommodation to be able to pray will go such a long way. um One of my example is that I have a friend, his name is Tony, and he works at Emerson in Shakopee, Minnesota. Tony is Muslim and he loves to pray 5 times a day. Emerson allows all their Muslims employee to stop work and pray, and his workplace is an hour away from him, but just because like he's able to pray at work, he told me that he will make that drive every single day just because they allow him to pray. That's how much that matters to him. And a workplace knowing that like that's almost a way to keep employees, like like that's a plus. That's a plus, because a company that doesn't do that might lose their employees because of that, or might not get as much of employees. But Emerson, like a certain like a they're what's the word I'm looking for, they're almost like drawing in a certain kind of like employees, so just being able to just understand that like as a Christian, like your fellow brother or your fellow sister has a need, and just being able to, like when we go in the business where we're maybe gonna own our companies one day, just being understanding that someone may have a need, and it's for us to almost all the words are just like escaping me today, to advocate for them, to be like, oh, this person needs this. Like when we go into like meetings and stuff, to be able to speak up for people, even if like they can't speak up for themselves. Because if you see a need, it's like I would want my accommodations to be met if I needed it, if it's something that was like almost part of like my personality. Because I'll say that my religion, being Christian, is me, like trying to live like Christ every day. So I would want someone that has their own religion, and that's part of their morals, that's their values, that's just everything, to also um just have the freedom to be able to express themselves. So that was kind of my part in the presentation, I believe. Yes, because the rest was, and then I was also supposed to conduct the Kahoot, but anyways, I heard you guys had so much fun with that. So thank you for listening to my presentation, and have a nice weekend. Thank you.